think she's innocent? You think she's soft? You think she only wants candles and cuddles? But let me tell you something that most men never realize until it's too late. She's craving fire, not flowers. And the man who learns how to give her that, without ever losing control of himself, that man becomes irresistible. Let's talk. 6 kinky things women secretly want to try in bed, but most will never say out loud, and how a stoic, grounded man can unlock every single one without becoming a puppet to lust. 1. She wants to be dominated, but not by a tyrant. She wants to surrender, but only to a man who's in control of himself. Most guys think dominance is yelling, choking, or barking orders. That's not dominance. That's desperation wearing a leather mask. The real turn on? A man who looks her in the eye, tells her exactly what he wants, and doesn't flinch when she tests him. She wants to be thrown on the bed, not by brute force, but by a man whose presence makes her melt. She wants her wrists pinned, not because she's weak, but because she feels safe being vulnerable with a man who won't lose himself in the moment. The Stoic lesson? Master yourself, and you master her desire, because the man who needs nothing is the man she wants to give everything to. 2. She wants to be told what to do, not in life, not in her career, but in bed. She wants commands whispered in her ear that make her knees shake. You think she's shy? That's only because no one's ever led her like a king leads a queen. With intention, with poise, with a fire behind his eyes that says, "Tonight, you belong to me, and you'll love every second of it." Stoicism isn't about being cold, it's about being clear. Director, calm under pressure. Tell her, "Don't move. Turn around. Look me in the eyes while I do this to you." Give her a reason to trust your direction, and she'll follow you to the edge of her pleasure. 3. She wants to explore her dark side, but she's waiting for permission. Every woman has a secret fantasy, some darker than you'd believe, but society told her to be a good girl, so she hides it. She buries it deep until the right man shows up, the man who doesn't flinch when she says, "I've never told anyone this before." She wants to be blindfolded. She wants to be tied up. She wants to hear you say things that make her blush hours later in the shower. She's dying to break the rules, but only with a man who's unshakable. A stoic man isn't shocked. He listens, he explores, and he says, "There's nothing about you that scares me. Show me everything." You want to give her the night of her life. Don't just seduce her body, seduce her secrets. 4. She wants you to hurt her, just a little. You read that right. She wants pain, but only when it's mixed with purpose. She wants your hand around her throat, not to scare her, but to make her feel claimed. She wants the sting of a spank, not because she's broken, but because it reminds her she's alive. Pain is a paradox. Done wrong, it's abuse. Done right, it's intimacy on fire. But only a man with total emotional discipline can walk that edge. Only a man who isn't driven by lust, but guided by clarity. That's what makes it hot, not the act itself, but the fact that you're in control. Because the stoic man doesn't chase pleasure. He delivers it intentionally, precisely, powerfully. 5. She wants to watch you lose control after she's already lost hers. Here's the twist. She wants to see you go primal, but not first. First, she wants to feel like she's the only thing in your world. She wants to fall apart under your touch, lose herself under your command, and then she wants to see you break, not recklessly, But like a volcano erupting after weeks of silent pressure, she wants to feel like she's the reason you gave in, that her surrender made you unleash. This isn't about lust, it's about tension. The kind of tension only a Stoic man knows how to build. A man who knows the value of restraint and then chooses, just once, to let it go for her. 6. She wants to be worshipped, not idolized. Most men confuse the two. Idolizing a woman is weak. It reeks of neediness. But worship? That's something else. It's what happens when you touch her like she's art. Kiss her like she's the answer to a question you didn't know you were asking. Look at her like you've seen thousands, and she's the only one who makes you forget them all. She wants you to notice every detail, to slow down, to explore her like you're writing a map with your mouth, but again, only when it comes from strength. A Stoic man doesn't worship because he lacks options. He worships because he chooses to. That's what makes it magnetic. Let me leave you with this. Most guys try to impress women by chasing trends, by memorizing tricks, by turning sex into performance. But the truth? Women don't want performance. They want presence.